12-hour shift in the ER. Just in case you guys didn't know, I work in the ER as well as doing real estate. But so I'm on no sleep right now. But I just want to jump on here because I wanted to express the importance in teaching our children to own real estate sooner than later. You know, whenever God puts them in a position to be able to do that. Because most of us who grew up in a home like mine, we weren't really taught financial stability. And one thing that I'm really an advocate about with most of my clients or potential clients is the different ways to use your real estate for different types of leverage, whether it be equity in the property or passive income. I think that we are what's the word I'm looking for? We are in school. They teach us how to work a job, right? Go 9 to 5. They train us for a certain career, tell you this and that. They don't talk about financial stability or taxes or real estate or a lot of banking information and things that children should learn in school before they hit the world. And so I try to tell people, when they're hesitant or they're going back and forth, like how expensive it is, the market is right now. It is never going to be more expensive to buy than it is to rent. When you aren't taught financial stability and certain things with savings and how to make money work for you, you think short-term money. You think going to work, working, all of these years for somebody who makes you feel disposable, and then when you're old and crippled, you retire just not to have enough to still be able to survive and have to work a part-time job. So I'm trying to teach the youth as well as a lot of adults, because I haven't long, figured this part out. But with real estate, when life hits you and you own real estate, there's equity that you can take out on your house that can help you survive a situation or issue that comes up that you are not prepared for. There is also ways to take your real estate that you buy, whether it is the property that you want to be in for years or if it's the property that you're temporarily going to be in, and rent out and make an investment or income property out of it and get passive income. So that if life hits you, like life hit me last year when I found out I had an illness, you can have passive income to help you make it to the next month or make it to the next year, or have you set for life so that you don't have to be bound to these jobs and slaving to get to work and clock in at a certain time when you feel like crap and you're sincerely sick, but you don't have any more PTO or you've called out so many times. Real estate is important in multiple different ways. And if we can educate the youth about that, when they're fresh out of high school or in college or after they've recently started their career in purchasing homes in as early as 18, but definitely in your early 20s, which I wish somebody had told me, you are setting them up for a future of success and less stress. So when you think about how we are conditioned in school, they tell you to work these jobs, these 9 to 5 jobs, and be obedient and do what they say do, and this is how you're supposed to look, and this is how you're supposed to talk. But we don't teach these children ways around that. Entrepreneurship is not taught in schools, which I think is ridiculous. Ridiculous. My daughter's 19. She chose not to go to college. She does hair, and when I tell you the money she makes, it's way more than what she would make going to Target or anywhere else, and a lot of starter positions, even in the corporate America. and she's just starting. And so I'm teaching her to get her credit together, own her business, tax it, charge people to work in her shop, make the money work for her, so that even when she's not in a shop, she's gonna be making money. She's her own boss. If life happens, she's not having to force herself to be somewhere and work hard, when she is physically unable to press herself or stress herself, for somebody else. So teach your children now, even if you don't know, call me and I will help educate you on leveraging your real estate, so that your children will know better than you. Because as a parent of 4, that is my main goal. I'm not perfect. I didn't grow up perfect. I'm still not perfect. I still don't know everything, but the more I can educate myself on the mistakes that I can make to save my children from, then I feel complete. I feel like I've done my due diligence and I've done my best with my children. Education never stops. It never stops, and everything is available to you. So much material is available to you for free. YouTube is the best thing out there. If you didn't know how to sew a dress, if you get on YouTube, you'll know how to sew a dress by tomorrow. If you Google, lenders or real estate agents and watch these videos and get educated on why it is important for you to own real estate, I just really can't stress it enough that you could go and rent, and right now if you think rent is high, you are ridiculously mistaken, because we are expecting for the rent to increase more in this market, and so until the market is stabilized, and even after it gets back on balance in however many years or however long that takes, it is going to always be important to own real estate and put that money to use for you, instead of renting and putting money in those landlords. And I'm not knocking landlords, because get yours, and I'm trying to get as many people as I can to be landlords, but financially it's not what's going to keep your money working for you. It's not what's going to get you wealthy or rich. It's not going to leave a legacy behind when you're not here anymore. Renting does nothing for you but pays the mortgage of the landlord or the owner of the property. It doesn't do anything for you. All those thousands of dollars for something that's probably small with a shared wall and no parking, it does nothing for you. So I try to tell my first time home buyers that maybe you're not getting into the property that you would want to live in for the rest of your life. But many times your first property is going to be the property that you turn into a income property. So the house hack is to use a FHA if that's the route that we have to go, because I've been preaching about getting that score to like a 640, 680, so we can get you a conventional loan with about the same percent down as you would with an FHA. But that's a whole different video. But to get that multi-family unit, live on one side and rent the other side out. So basically the people on the side of you who are your tenants are paying your mortgage for you. And then once you've had that FHA for 2 years, you move out of that to where you want to be at, or to your next level. It still might not be your forever home, but to the next best step. And then you'll have 2 rental units or 3 rental units or 4 rental units that are paying not only for that income property, but for your next property. And then you repeat the cycle. And you could do this easily. Wow. Still working that job that school told you to work. You can still be, working that job and getting passive income. That's more money in the bank if you can manage to do it all. I mean, once you get the rental, once you get the income property and you have the clients in there, the tenants in there, I mean, outside of collecting your rent and the whatever, you know, things you'll have to fix up, which you'll be saving the money for, because I can teach you how to make sure that you're not taking that money and spending it and not putting money to the side for things to break, fall apart, or need to be fixed, because it will happen, because it's going to happen with your own property, that you need to have that money to the side. But I can teach you how to do that. I can teach you how you need to put money to the side to save it, so in case of an emergency, for not only your property but for your income properties. But you need to own property. You need to. Let me tell you, these landlords don't care. It's ugly out here in these streets. They greedy. The housing market, they greedy. They gonna take all of your money and they're gonna keep rising it. I mean, I will say it's a few good people still out here trying to be, you know, right by people, but people are about their coins. They're about their money. It's the same thing with selling a home. My home might be worth $150, but if the market tells me I can sell it for $100,000 more, and it's gonna benefit me and my pockets and my family, I'm gonna sell it for that $100,000 more. You know, unless God puts me in a position where I can, you know, not need to take advantage of $100,000, which I don't think there's gonna be ever a situation where I can't find where I can use $100,000 for use for my family. But this market is not about to change. In fact, it's about to get worse. So waiting for the unknown is one of the worst things that you can do. We don't know. I don't care who think they can predict the market. We can only guesstimate, or, you know, look at the data that we have in front of us to figure out what's going to happen with the market. And right now it's looking like it's not going to change anytime soon. I don't know if it's going to go up. I doubt if it's going to go down anytime soon. But y'all are playing with the timeline of taking advantage of the lower interest rates, because from what I hear, they're about 5% now. And I mean, that's FHA and conventional. You know, you looking at about in conventional with good credit, remember, because it's all based on credit. So y'all are sitting around. I have so many people around me, even my own family, who are, I'm gonna wait, you know, for the market to change. Okay, I'll be here for you. You know, that's fine. We can wait for the market to change. But those same people had, you know, I had family members who sold a house last year, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the market to change before I buy. I strongly advise not to wait, right? But it was a peak of the change in the market, for, you know, when it was flipping to the seller's market, and she got a good deal on her home and set on the money before she decided to purchase again. And now the interest rates are up. People look at that principal amount. They look at, oh my God, that house is $500,000. I would never pay $500,000 for a house. What you do not want to do is to be paying high interest rates on your property, because that is what's going to change your amount that you are paying, not even in the long run, but more so, you know, for the right now thinkers, you know, the people who think about, you know, what's happening right now. Your payment, your monthly payment, if the interest rate is higher, that could change your monthly payment hundreds of dollars. And that interest rate is what is going to make it unaffordable more, you know, depending on what angle you're looking at it, than the principal amount that they're asking for the property. You know, 5% interest rate is still pretty good. You know, but if you had got it at 2.5, you know what I'm saying, over a 30-year mortgage, you would have saved so much money. And now we're at 5, and now we don't know if it's going to drop, and we're looking as if it's probably going to go up somewhere. Yeah, the longer you wait, I feel like my real estate expertise is telling me that, you know, your variables and your interest rates are going to go up. So we need to get our youth into owning property. We need to get, you know, everybody into the habit of purchasing property, and not just one. You know, multiple properties for passive income. But we definitely need to start with our youth, because our youth is our future, and these kids are making money out here. Like, my daughter makes good money with no bills. Very good money with no bills. I work with some very talented travel nurses that are very young. I mean, straight out of school. They don't even know what to do with that travel money. That money is stupid. But I see them going on vacation. I see them buying bags, shoes, and I see them throwing thousands of dollars away on rent every month to live in, you know, the desired area instead of purchasing in the desired area. And then I'm seeing that these nurses, these new nurses, these travel nurses, or some, you know, somewhat seasoned younger nurses have no reserves or little reserves or asking about down payment assistance. And I'm like, you are bringing in that money every month and you have not been putting anything away. Nothing away to secure, you know, a home or any type of investment. It just baffles me to see a travel nurse making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a week, and I said week, asking me about down payment assistance. You can literally work a month and have your down payment. So again, I go back to the drawing board. I'm all about a program, a plan, putting things together so that it makes sense, right? So if I have this travel nurse come to me and tell me they need reserves, I'm going to sit down with them and I'm going to go over a plan. This is not the market for down payment assistance. It is not. And most down payment assistance are still not going to cover all of your down payment or closing costs. So you're going to still have to have money to put with that. That down payment assistance is one of the things that will have that that seller tell you no and get your offer rejected. And so in this market, it's for me to educate you about the things that are going to get the yes. And that's making that offer look as beautiful as can be. One thing that I do not, I see a lot of agents, you know, waiving due diligence where they have the inspections done. I will absolutely never tell my client to do that. But any other aspect of that offer we can make look better. Having the reserves for down payment and closing costs, that credit score be better if we need to wait and, you know, do some things to, you know, play with your credit score to get it up so you can get a better interest rate. I'm all about sitting down with the client, the lender, my credit specialist, and coming up with a plan, you know, usually within 6 months to get that change that we need to get that offer to be accepted. So again, this video is about multiple things, but definitely about, you know, I just wish I had somebody in real estate in my family, or, you know, a family friend or somebody to tell me these things. And now we have IG, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have all these different resources to educate people about, you know, different programs and ways to become homeowners. I say all the time, you have not met a wealthy person. It's a difference between wealthy and rich. You have never met a wealthy person who does not have multiple properties of real estate. It's just not, I guess it's ways around it, you know what I'm saying? But they're gonna usually have multiple properties that they have. Whether they're living in all of them, whether it's a vacation home, whether they're Airbnb in and out, whatever they can do, short-term rentals, long-term, whatever they're doing, you know. Oh my God, and Peer Space, beautiful. You Airbnb your home out, and when it's not Airbnb out, when you don't have any schedule, rent the space out for photo shoots. There's so many different ways to make money with real estate. So when I hear somebody tell me that they think it's cheaper to rent, it almost makes me want to vomit because it's just absolutely not the truth. You're looking at the down payment that you have to put down in the beginning, but over the long term of your loan and owning your property, you are saving so much more money by purchasing a home that's going to be yours, that you can utilize leverage with, versus renting and not owning anything and paying more than what they're paying for the mortgage to put money in their pocket. For what? Because it does nothing for you. And I understand everybody's situation is not in a position where they can buy now, and I've had people have to re-sign their lease while we're working on getting them in a position to buy. But my biggest thing is you have to start the process. I mean, if you're sitting here, I'm gonna do it, or I'm one day, or next week, or next month, you're gonna continue a cycle of pushing it off, and you're gonna sit there and turn around, and you're gonna still be in that rental 5 years later, or another rental, instead of doing the process and owning a home or investment properties a priority. If I work with you and I realize in a few months span that you are not going according to the plan we put in place, I'm not saying when life hits and we have to take a detour. I'm saying like literally not making buying a home or the process we start a priority, I will not work with you. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of free work in real estate, right? That I do before I can even get you to the closing table. And so I'm an advocate about not wasting your time and not wasting mine. If you are not going to do the steps in the process and make it a priority, and you are out here spending money and buying cars and doing unnecessary stuff with your money instead of putting it to the side and saving it, I will happily tell you to give me a call when you are absolutely ready. I sit on the MLS hours and hours and hours coming up with property, trying to find properties, doing research, making phone calls to find properties for my clients. I'm always working. Like, I'm sleepy right now. I worked last night. I had a business call at 11. I'm on the way to an appointment. When I leave here, I'm passing out door hangers. I'm always working for my clients and for my business. And so if you're not going to be conducive to the energy and the atmosphere that I'm trying to create for myself, and you are wasting time, I will gladly wait for you. I will patiently wait for you to get in the position where you're going to make it a priority. I'll wait for you. I will do that, but you got to make it a priority. It's got to be your top priority. And I'm not talking about putting it before your family and all that. I'm just saying it needs to be top of your financial priority list, is to get you into a property. That is when you are ready, and that's when you should be making before you make the phone call to even meet. Before you get the pre-approval, like, you have to have that mindset in your mind that that's what you want to do, and that's your priority. So I just wanted to take I didn't plan on being here on making the video this long, but I really just wanted to get on here so I could just talk about our youth and how important it is to own a property. And yes, this is a scary market when you don't have professionals around you who can educate you about what to do and how to get into your property. It can be very scary. I'm a realist. I'm telling you what's the deal. As soon as we get your pre-approval and get somebody to look at your credit, I'm a realist. I don't sugarcoat it for you. I am not going to tell you lies to keep you hanging around and dangling. I'm going to tell you what we need to do, where we need to get you at, if it's time now or if we need to wait and put it in a plan. I'm gonna be as extremely honest with you as I can, because that's what's gonna get your offers accepted. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna keep you from getting discouraged and going back to renting and re-signing leases, is if I'm honest with you. And so that's what I'll say might set me apart from a lot of agencies. They're gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna just tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And if I'm telling you that you can get into something that's not conducive to what you want, guess what? I'm gonna tell you, let's figure out a plan to get you what you want. Right now you're not there. What can we do to get you there? So I hope this was informative for you. I hope you will share it with your friends and family. I am available for phone calls, for consultations. I don't charge for that. Call me. Let's start a conversation, because it all starts with a conversation, right? Like, we need to talk about this so we can figure out what we need to do to get you to where you are able to get pre-approved, or if we need to wait, whatever plan we need to come up with. It starts with a conversation. You got to start the process. And if you plan on like, I don't want to look for a house until December, it's still time to call me now, because we need to make sure that by December you're in the position that you need to be in to buy. And sometimes it takes longer than expected. So the earlier and the sooner you know that you want to make that happen, the faster you make that phone call to me and to the lenders and to my credit specialists if we need to do that route, the better, because the pressure is not on to be trying to do it within 3 months of you trying to purchase a home. We're going to do it now, and that way you sit and you settle in. It's already worked out before we get to the process of even looking. It's never too early to call your agent and start the process. The process is not just pre-approved, let's go look. The process could be more lengthier than that and more, detailed. So, but it all starts with a phone call. So if you are interested now in purchasing or selling, because I do both, and want to have a conversation just to see where you need to get started at, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My number is 470-209-0097. Let's make it happen. Let's get you in the home. Let's get your family in the home. Let's get your children in the home, your friends in the home. Let's start owning some property, because that's your leverage. That's how you're gonna make it through life. When the economy is not where it needs to be at, and your retirement plan is looking really iffy because it's happening, Social Security looking low, and they don't know if you're gonna get it. You got your leverage because you own property. And by the time you get ready to retire, your property is probably gonna be paid off, and God knows what your property be worth, but that's all you right there. It's paid off. That's more of a retirement plan to me than clocking in every day. And I'm not knocking people who clock in every day, but if you are banking on retirement, oh my God, I'm not really on top of myself with stock markets and how all that stuff works, but if that's your only plan, we need to figure out something else. We need to figure out a supplement just in case that doesn't completely work out and it's not enough. And the sooner you start that process of buying and owning properties, the better. So my name is Kim, the agent. Give me a call so we can do a consultation and see where you are in your life and how close you are to purchasing your first home. I will gladly take care of you and walk you through the process and be there from the beginning to the end. Okay? Thank you.